The Wizard of Oz behind the camera.
One of my favorite films as well. Right, okay. So I'll just carry on. I'll carry on.
Yeah.
That was okay, wasn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
I'm not nervous. I'm actually I feel good. I
Yeah.
feel good. I've got Elvis behind me, so
Hey, there you
I'm
go. What's
okay.
wrong with that?
So obviously a lot of the questions are defending type
Yeah.
questions. Because I do obviously the defending thing is a standout for me, but a very big thing for me is making sure that people understand that Donna is Elvis's first cousin. It's so important to me, and the fact that they tried to use the fact that once Donna had a different name as an excuse to discredit Donna, which is literally irrelevant because it's like Riley Q's last name is Q. Yeah.
Back in the early 70s, I decided I had been doing some local modeling and I wanted to get into it a little bit heavier, you know. So my mom and I flew out to Denver, Colorado, and we met with a large modeling agency there, one of the top ones. They were very welcoming. That yes, we'll love to sign you, but we want you to do one thing. And so I said, "What is that?" And they said, "We want you to use the Presley name." And I said, "No, I won't do that. I can make it on my own. I don't make it at all." So anyway, my mom and I flew home. Well, a day or so after that, she went over to Graceland, and she ran into Elvis when she was there. And he said, "Sit down and talk, let's talk." And so she, was talking to him, and he said, "So Aunt Nash, what have you been up to?" And so she told him that she and I had gone to Denver, Colorado about the modeling and everything, and that they wanted to use the Presley name. He said, "Well, that's absurd. Of course she should use it. She's as much a Presley as I am. Just because you're her mother and not her father, that doesn't dilute the bloodline.
Huh?
That you tell her, yes, that's her birthright. She should use it. And if there's anything that I can do to help her in any way, you tell her that I'll be happy to do it." So, and actually, I didn't even do it at that time. I just
Mm.
went on and was doing some other things. And
Yeah.
my mom and I had a long conversation, and she was very melancholy, after Elvis passed away, and about the fact that, Lisa's a girl, and she'd marry and she'd have children of her own, and the Presley name would be kind of lost.
Hmm.
And so I told her, I said, "Well, Mom, it is my birthright." She said, "Yes, it is." And I said, "Well, I tell you what, I'm going to add the Presley name to my name." And I did. I added it because it was my birthright. I took my
Yeah.
birth. And I also told her, I said, when Stacy and his wife, when they have a child, I'm going to ask them if they'll put Presley in the name. And which they did. They named
Mm.
my oldest granddaughter Nashville Presley after my mother.
Mm.
So, it's not just a name that Elvis had. There were people who had it before,
Yeah.
and like Elvis said, just because it was my mother instead of my father, it doesn't dilute the bloodline.
No.
And, I went through a tumultuous marriage, and afterwards, I wanted to break free of anything about him. And
Of course.
the most influential women in my life were my mother and my grandmother. So I said,
Hmm.
"I'm going to use my birthright, and I'm going to use the Presley name, and I am now and will forever be Donna
Of
Presley."
course. Of course. And you have Presley blood in your veins.
That's right.
Yeah. No matter what people say,
Mhm.
they're not going to change that. And I think people try to. You get the people that, how can I say this? The people that I feel that are a bit brainwashed into a different, that I feel like there's two sides. So
Yes.
you get the Presley side,
Hmm.
yeah, and people understand the Presley story, but not as well as they should. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you get the Smith side. People seem to have really bought into that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, even with the Stanleys,
Hmm.
um, people need to understand the Presley side much more. Yeah. And that's something I want to try and get across with our
Yeah.
defending Elvis. To be honest, with you, Riley Q has a different last name.
Yes.
Yeah. The Smiths aren't called Presley. Yeah.
Yeah.
People still will say Billy is a first cousin of
Yeah.
Elvis, regardless of his last name. And then Finley and Harper eventually they're called Lockwood, yeah.
Exactly.
But they are Presleys.
They
They
are.
are Presley blood.
That's right.
They will
Absolutely.
own Gracelands.
That's right.
Yeah. So the name is irrelevant. It's the
That's
blood
it is
that
the
matters.
DNA. Absolutely. You're so
But
correct.
even more than that, you grew up at Circle G Ranch.
Mhm.
You grew up at Gracelands.
Yes.
You did live the life with the Presleys, with
Yes.
your beloved family, not just with Elvis. Obviously, we all adore Elvis,
Yes.
but you lived the Presley life. Yeah.
Yes. I
You were
did.
there before Elvis became famous.
Yes.
Yeah. You were close before. And so obviously your mother was very close. I think she even played with Elvis when I know she was a bit older, wasn't she? Was she 9 years older?
Yes.
Yeah. They lived next door to each other.
Yes.
Yeah. You see? So forget fame and the success and forget Graceland.
Right.
The Presleys have been together before and after the fame. Yeah.
Exactly.
So I can't think of anyone who should be called a Presley more than a first cousin. I
Right.
can't think of any. Yeah. So I really want to get that across to the world. Yeah. Obviously, I'm on YouTube, but the whole world should know. The
Yes.
whole world should know. Yeah. So I will always defend you. Anybody that tries to say that you are not a Presley, a blood Presley, a first cousin of Elvis, I will challenge them and I will stand up for you 100%.
I appreciate that, Lou. Thank you so very much.
Yeah, of course. So just a couple of questions.
Uh-huh.
I did want to just lightly touch. Do you remember when the book Elvis, What Happened came out? You know, the one that Red West, Sunny West, Dave Hebler did?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Was it ever mentioned?
Well,
Like,
everybody was upset about it. And of course,
mhm.
Elvis certainly was. He was heartbroken by it, and
Yeah, so you know that, yeah?
I do know that. Absolutely.
Right.
Like I
Yeah,
said,
that's interesting.
believed in loyalty. He was loyal to every person that was in his life. He was loyal to them. And that's all he asked for was loyalty in return.
Yeah. Do you think he would have forgiven them?
I think he did forgive them because Elvis
He did.
once made the statement to my grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
My grandmother had said something. Well, my grandfather was on television one night, and my grandmother said something about it. And Elvis said, he said, Dodger, I don't want you to dislike him anymore, to hate him or anything like that, because that
Mm-hmm.
all it does is hurt you. It doesn't hurt him. It doesn't affect him.
Yeah.
But it hurts you. I know he hurt you. I know he did bad things to you. But you have to forgive and let that go because you have a wonderful life now and you have people who love you. So just let it go for your own peace of mind.
Yeah, I agree.
So
Forgiveness is important.
He was hurt, but he had a conversation with them, and he said, I'm hurt, and I wish you hadn't have done it, but if you ever need me, you know where I am.
Yeah.
And God says it all right there.
It does. It does. I know that conversation. And the sad thing is that when they secretly recorded that conversation,
yes,
it wasn't just Red. Dave Hebler was sat next to him listening. It's just heartbreaking. Heartbreaking.
It is.
But they didn't catch him out because he was a gentleman all the way through it. And as you say,
all the way through.
He gave and he offered to help them.
Yes, that's true. But the point of the matter is, he was being great in his forgiveness, but they were still being wrong in what they did.
Yeah.
And
of course.
Continue to do that. And I think that
they
did that.
And also, he was treated very, very unfairly. And I think the world should know how unfairly he was treated. He didn't deserve it. And a lot of lies as well. So I want the world to know the truth.
Oh, I do too. And like I said,
I'm not doing it for hate.
Right. She made a very valid point. Yes, Elvis forgave them, but that doesn't assuage what they did. It doesn't change what they did.
No.
And it doesn't negate what they did. What they did was wrong in every sense of the word.
I agree.
Heartbroken. He was angry. How could somebody betray him? And hope that
somebody so close
went well. I hope they enjoyed it because that's pretty much what happened. It was a Judas move.
Yeah, but don't forget they did get hate and horrible fan mail for literally the rest of their lives. And obviously Dave Hepler's still alive. I don't hate on these people, but I wish they would say sorry and show regret. I wish they would do that. They've had 50 years of hate. I don't wish that on anyone. Yeah.
Right.
It's it sounds almost cruel, but when are they going to say sorry? Obviously, Red and Sonny. I think Sonny did show some regret towards the end. I'm not so sure about Red,
Mhm.
uh, but Dave Hepburn, the living person,
Mhm.
I've watched his recent interviews, and he there's no regret,
Mhm.
none at all, none, no apology, nothing. He just makes excuses why it was okay, and he tries to say he was trying to help and save Elvis. I don't fall for it.
No,
They did it for money. They did it for money and a bit of revenge, and they were bitter and angry, and I even think jealous of Elvis. Yeah. So sometimes I wonder if these people wished they were Elvis. Yeah.
yeah.
So that's just my views. I'll probably get a backlash for that now, but um, I just speak in my mind. I repeat, I don't hate these people, and I must forgive them as well.
Well,
Yeah.
of course we do, but like I said, and
Mm,
of course we do forgive. It's as
mm,
Christians we have to,
yeah.
but also there again, it doesn't negate what they did, and they
No.
can't be, we say, hey, I'm sorry, I did it, I shouldn't have
Mm,
done it, but there it is,
yeah.
and I hope that people will forgive me for it.
Yeah.
So
And you know what? The same for the Stanleys as well. The same for the Smiths. Ultimately, they have to look in the mirror.
that's
They
right.
know their behavior.
Mhm.
Yeah. And their maker
That's
they'll
right.
face their maker one
Yeah.
day. But it is, we, as you say, as Christians, I'm a Christian, we
Mhm.
must forgive. We
Yeah.
must. There can't be any hate. There can't be any hate, which
Right.
I do try and say in every video I do. This is never about hate. We
No.
come from love,
Hmm.
but we defend as well because Elvis deserves it. Yeah.
Well, he's no longer here to defend himself,
No.
And so it's up
Yeah.
to those who love and cherish hhim and want to continue his legacy in the way in
Yeah.
which he started it.
Yeah. So I did want to quickly ask you, how did the Nerve interview go? Because a lot of people are looking forward to watching that on Friday night.
It went well. It did. We talked
Mm,
for about 30 minutes or so, and
yeah,
it went very well. Yes, I was pleased with
yeah.
it.
No,
Uh,
like shocking questions because they are well known for being.
well,
Um,
there were a couple shocking questions, that you just can't answer for legal purposes.
yeah,
But yeah, but I
yeah,
mean, I answered everything openly and
yeah,
on the site,
yeah.
and yeah,
You were
absolutely.
comfortable with it.
I was
You, you
yes,
it ended well because I was worried. Yeah, because I know they're lovely ladies. I
yeah,
know there was just one, wasn't it? Was it Maureen?
yes.
I know that sometimes she will ask some extreme stuff. So I was a little bit
Well,
worried.
she was very kind and very sweet and very
Oh,
understanding.
that's lovely. Oh,
Yes,
brilliant. Brilliant. I'm looking forward to that. Guys, anyone watching, I think it's Friday. I don't know the exact time, but Friday, I'll let you know on the Facebook what time that interview is. The Nerve.
yes,
Okay, guys. So talking about Priscilla, yeah.
yes.
Do you remember when she first came on holiday, like visiting? Were you there?
Well, I remember her first coming, and being
Hmm.
there uh, all the time, basically. We, she was very beautiful, and that was
Hmm.
obvious. She was kind of aloof, I should say. She had a coldness about her, as far as the family was concerned. And,
Hmm.
it was just kind of grew from there. I mean, we did have times, she and I, that we went places together and did things together. And we had a good time, so
Hmm.
there was that. But then there was the other part that, where there was a kind of a pushing away of the family.
Hmm.
I don't know if she felt like we were too provincial, for her, or those kind of things, or maybe she was
Hmm.
aspiring to something a little higher and thought that we were not of that caliber.
I understand. So, were the Presleys welcoming to her, like the other
I
ladies?
mean, well, to be honest, we were heartbroken that Elvis and
Mm.
Anita Wood broke up because she was
Ah,
She was just an incredible,
Yeah,
incredible. She was
I've
very,
read her book.
yeah, she was very loving with Elvis and very loving to all of the family.
Yes.
We thought we welcomed her into the family, and she treated us all like family. She was
Yeah.
always going in and out of Grandma's room,
Yeah.
and she spent time with me and made me feel, even though I was younger, she didn't make me feel like I was an annoying little kid. She made me feel
Mm.
like I was, one of her friends. And
Yeah.
she
She's
was,
lovely.
yes, she was, and she
She's
probably
lovely.
introduced me to, like things about dressing and makeup and things like that.
Yeah, I can imagine. I know quite a lot about Anita. Um, and Gladys and Vernon loved her, didn't they, as
Yes,
well?
yes, yes.
Um, but I mean, she really did think that for a long time that they 100% were going to get married.
So I think
And
everybody did. We all did.
yeah,
Uh,
and they even picked out names for the babies.
yes, yes.
So it was,
Matter of
do you
fact,
know them? Do you know them? It
well,
was,
I believe the little girl's name was Lisa Marie, which was
yeah.
her middle name. Marie was her middle name.
Mhm. All
So
right, that's why. I wonder where they get that from.
yeah, and then I believe Elvis Aaron Presley Jr. was what
Yeah,
the,
yeah. I'm testing you now.
yeah,
I love the book, and I've read the beautiful love letters
yeah,
going back and forth are
yeah,
just one of the most special books I've
yeah,
ever read,
yes.
and it's written by her daughter Juanita.
Hmm.
Um, but I was heartbroken that they didn't get together, but
Yes.
Elvis just wasn't ready. He
Yeah,
wasn't ready.
and and all honesty, I mean, and and I don't say this for any reason because I mean, obviously, he Lisa Marie and what she was absolutely the joy, in the crown in his.
Yes, yeah, yeah,
But Elvis was probably a man that probably should have never married because he
yeah,
was just, he was given to the world and
mm,
the world,
yeah. I agree.
he
I
was there
agree.
for everybody,
I
so
agree. But it's heartbreaking for Anita because she was so lovely, and
yeah,
you knew her well.
I knew her.
Um,
Yeah.
sh I think she was stunningly beautiful,
She was
ex
beautiful, yes,
extremely talented, destined for massive fame,
yes,
and she sacrificed that for Elvis really towards the end. Yeah.
she did, yeah,
So just if I had to pick someone that Elvis to marry, it would be Anita.
yes,
It would be
yeah,
Anita.
she was,
Yeah, I love her. I love her.
yeah,
She's adorable. Yeah,
yes,
but as you say, Elvis, he wasn't he wasn't for
ready,
marriage.
right.
Wasn't for marriage.
Yes.
So okay, now with Priscilla, did you notice a change in her that I'm on about later now when we're getting to the early 70s?
Mhm.
Yeah. So they've had Lisa Marie. She's, you know, we know about she had an affair with a dance instructor
Right,
months after the baby was born. But
right.
did you notice a change in Priscilla after that?
Well, I noticed that she became even more and more aloof,
Mm,
not only with family, but seemed to be so, around Elvis as well.
mm,
Like there was another idea in her head or agenda in her head that she wanted.
mm.
Um, I think she wanted her own career. And
Yeah,
as a matter of fact, the other night I was watching her on one of the news channels, and she said that she had to go out and find herself because she wanted to show that she could do it too, because she was talking about
mm.
it and stuff. Um, so I found that very telling,
Yeah,
self. But yeah, yeah, she wanted a different life than what she had.
yeah. See, this is you've hit the nail on the head. So I've got a little bit of a cough. Um, she tries to give the impression that the reason she left was because she felt claustrophobic and imprisoned, and that Elvis was holding her back. I don't. I have never believed that for a second. I've
I,
always believed that
yeah,
once she had a taste of fame, celebrity,
yes,
that she wanted it,
yes.
and that's why she left.
I agree with that. I really do. She didn't want the life that she had, and
Yeah,
she wanted more for herself
yeah,
on her own.
yeah,
Uh, Became, more, like I said, more cold and distant, and
mm,
it was something that was very obvious, and
yeah,
I'm just, it was just those things that everybody kind of saw coming.
yeah, yeah. Uh, uh, she makes excuses, but the real reason was it was her putting herself first, her needs, her
Yes.
desires, and it wasn't just money and fame. I think she was jealous of Elvis. I also think she envied him, but I also think, I know this is a bit crude, but she still liked other men. She still liked other men.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she couldn't shake that. Yeah. So
Well, you mentioned something about her saying she felt trapped and and it was Elvis was holding her back. But I mean, he said, go out and have ballet, take
yeah,
karate, do,
yeah,
he wasn't holding her back. He was encouraging her to go out
yeah.
and find things that she enjoyed doing. So I don't,
That
like,
says a lot.
I don't
That
understand.
says a lot.
Hmm.
But she will come across saying she was groomed, controlled, and imprisoned in a gilded cage. When we know she had as much freedom as she could ever want. You can't have a year-long affair with a karate champion, Mike Stone, if
And
you're imprisoned.
if you're in
Yeah.
prison,
It's like it doesn't add up, does it? So
that's
she's
very true.
exposing herself.
Yeah, very true.
So do you think the same one? Because obviously the public are very interested in Priscilla. Do you think she ever loved Elvis?
I think probably she loved him, in her way. Uh, I think there's a difference in loving somebody and being in love with somebody.
Mm.
I think
Mm.
there's a huge difference there.
Yeah,
I loved him, but I don't think she was really in love with him.
yeah, I agree with that. Do you think he loved her?
By the same token, I think he loved and cared about her, and
Mhm.
but as far as being in love with her as a man should be in love with a woman, his
Mm.
wife, no, I don't
Yeah,
think.
yeah. I think I would agree with that, to be honest with you. So I wanted to Lisa Marie, obviously, we all miss her. We adore her. We're so sad. The bad times she had in her life were terrible. But I've always been a believer that Lisa also had many good times.
Yeah.
Yeah. But um, what when Lisa was young,
Mhm.
yeah. So when she was like, two, 1, 2, 3, 4, those sort of ages. What was her relationship like with Priscilla?
Well, I mean, Priscilla was always, around her, and she seemed to be, a good mother, at that
Right.
time. Uh,
Okay.
as she got as Lisa got older, there seemed to be more tension between them, and of course, the last time I saw Lisa Marie she was 13 years old.
Mm.
And, I know that she and her mother had a fairly rocky relationship. Uh,
Yeah.
Sometimes you look at that as maybe just growing pains. But
Mm.
and I realized as she got older and the tension grew more and more and more, and then there were long separations of like, not speaking and or arguing and that sort of thing like that.
Mm.
It made me wonder, why. And then when I read her book, I was absolutely heartbroken
Yeah.
that I felt alone and unloved and like
Yeah.
a pawn in a game. Elvis absolutely adored her. And the reason that Uncle Vernon made Priscilla trustee of Graceland in the first place was to protect, because as Lisa's mother, to protect Lisa, because
Mm.
she was Elvis's only child and she was his only grandchild, and that was his one thought in life, since he
Of
knew that
course.
not going to live long enough to take care of things. That he felt like, I'll put Priscilla in charge to, because I expect her to take care of Lisa.
Mm.
I found out that, the life that Lisa had and that she felt so alone and abandoned, it just broke my heart. And I feel really
Yeah.
myself because I didn't reach out to her, but
Mm.
I didn't. And
Yeah.
that's
I
on.
understand.
I think that she would have had a much happier and more rounded life if she had been able to be around Elvis's family like us, uh, because we grew up with all that love and devotion and support and loyalty
Mm.
to each other. And she, at 9 years old, lost her compass in life, and she was left like a leaf out in the middle of the ocean, just tossed from side to side. And
Yeah.
that breaks my heart. It really
Yeah.
does.
We're all the Elvis fans around the world are gutted for Lisa. We
Yeah.
are. It's funny because I didn't realize how much of a connection I had, with Lisa until later. Like obviously my love has always been with Elvis, but really I think losing Lisa um is what made me realize that we loved Lisa as much as we loved Elvis. But we had to sort of lose her for me to realize
Right.
she was part of it, wasn't she?
Yes.
We watched her grow up.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. Because obviously I'm a similar age. I'm 58, so
Mhm.
similar age to Lisa. So I remember her as a young kid, as a teenager, and yeah,
Yeah.
going through the decades.
Yes.
So so we love her so much.
Yeah.
We love her. I miss her. I do.
Yes.
Right. Okay. My voice is starting to go, so I'm going to try and pick out the. Did you ever meet Anne Margaret? There we are.
I actually met Anne Margaret at Elvis's funeral.
Right. Okay.
She did. Yeah.
And
She was a lovely, lovely woman. Her and her husband were just very kind and very sweet. You could tell she was visibly shaken,
yeah,
that it really affected her. And
yeah,
both had a deep, care and love for Elvis.
yeah. She did.
And I've always admired her not only for her talent, but for the person that she was and is.
Yeah,
And never saying anything at all about Elvis and saying he was
yeah.
proud to keep it that way. I respect that very much from
Of
her.
course, the whole world does. This is what the lesson that the people that have betrayed Elvis need to learn. That
Yeah,
the people that were loyal stand out.
yeah,
They stand out.
absolutely
And Margaret, I'm so proud of Anne Margaret, and she still looks great. She's still going strong.
beautiful. Yes.
So, let me just. I want to try and ask the more important question because I've only got a couple left.
Okay.
So, did you ever meet Jerry Schilling?
Yes. I felt that Jerry had two faces.
Yeah.
The one he showed to Elvis, and the other
Mm.
one, he showed to everybody else. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think that he was a true and loyal friend to Elvis. I really
Mm.
don't. And he was, yeah, I'm not a fan. Let's put it that way. No.
Yeah. I could ask a really rude question. You probably know what I'm thinking. Or shall I just not ask it? How friendly was he with Priscilla, do you think?
Well, they were really, really, really close for many, many years, and I don't think so much that they're friends now. Since she's left Graceland and he's still with her.
Mm.
But there for many years, they were very, very, very close.
Yeah. That's four berries. Four berries. Okay. When you pass three berries, I'm worried. We'll leave it at that. We'll let the fans comment. Yeah. And but I do agree with you. So let's have a look. So, oh yes, right. So just if I was going to say to you, come on, in a short description, what was Elvis like? Just like as a guy, as a cousin, how would you describe him?
Well, he was a man's man. He loved, sports and roughhousing and so forth. But if I was to describe Elvis in just a few words, it would be the most loving, decent, caring, generous, wonderful man I've ever met. I mean, he was all the good things that you ever heard about Elvis Presley are true and then some.
Yes, love that, love that. I'd love to have met him. Yeah, I think I would have got on well with Elvis. I
You
really
would,
do.
I mean, let me tell you, he was fun. He was wonderful. He was caring. And,
Yeah,
the only thing that money and fame meant to Elvis was what he could provide for
yeah,
others.
yeah.
Yeah, he loved it.
And did you meet any of the other girlfriends?
Yes, I have. I've met some of them. Let's see. I met Sheila Ryan.
Hmm.
Of course, let's see. Linda. I know Linda.
So Linda seemed to be the popular one. Why
Yeah,
was that?
yeah. Well, Linda was a Southern girl,
Hmm.
and she kind of grew up with the same kind of beliefs and traditions that Elvis and the family grew up with. So
Hmm.
yeah, and she's yeah, I know Linda very well, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I think she's adorable. I'll tell you what, I've watched a lot of Linda's interviews. I've got to know her through the many interviews. She does defend Elvis all the
Yes.
time.
Mhm.
There are. I want to be straight. There's a few things she discussed in her book. I have read her book. I'd rather she had left out.
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
yes,
Um,
uh-huh.
I hope she doesn't bring those things up anymore. I haven't heard her bring them up recently,
Mhm.
but she defends Elvis.
Yes, she
Yeah.
does.
So, and she still looks beautiful.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
And she's got a lovely personality. So I'm definitely a fan
yes,
of Linda. Yeah.
yes.
So did who would Elvis have called his mate, like to hang out with?
Kind of like a best friend.
Yeah, like if he was going to go down the pub or down the bar, who would he take?
I think it would probably be Charlie Hodge.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, Charlie
Yeah.
was Charlie loved Elvis dearly, and Elvis loved him. And I mean, you know, Charlie wrapped his whole life around Elvis, really and truly. And so
Yeah.
say that he was a really true and loyal and loving friend.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I like Charlie. He did like a bit of drink, didn't he?
Oh yeah.
Uh, he liked to drink. I think all of them smoked too much.
Yes.
Um, but I like Charlie.
Yeah.
He's genuine. Yeah, I know that Elvis would tell him off if
Yes.
he got too drunk.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, he was. Elvis didn't appreciate that at all.
yeah. He didn't like people too drunk. He didn't mind them having one or two, but if they, when they, so let's just have a look here. Did you ever go to church with Elvis?
No, I did not.
No.
Elvis, like when my mom had her church, Elvis
Yeah,
told her, he said, Aunt Nash, I would love to come and be in your church and listen to you minister.
yeah.
The fact is, if I come, I'm just going to be a disruption. He said, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
he said, people are there to worship the Lord, and I don't want to take that
yeah.
away.
Oh, I would have loved to have gone to church with Elvis.
Yeah.
That would, that would be a dream come true for me.
Uh,
Brilliant. I've loved it.
yeah.
Thank you.
You're very, thank you, Louis. It's been amazing.
Oh, thank you. Not bad. My first attempt. Yeah. And
Did
I
very
quit. You think I did all right? I passed. I get a pass from Donna Presley.
Yeah.
And thank you so much. We'll do it again, hopefully, one day. And you are, to me, a number one defender. Yeah. And I've said to Karen, the defending route is going to be a tricky one.
Yeah,
We're going to have our good days and bad days.
absolutely.
Yeah. We're going to have to be thick-skinned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
We're
lovers,
going to
I know.
we're
But
going to get some backlash,
yeah,
but
it is.
our heart is in the right place.
Exactly.
That's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
Brilliant. And thank you for doing this.
Thank you, Louis. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I send my love.
I will.
I pray for you and your family.
Thank you. And I do the same for you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye then.